Hello, and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. I'm joined today by SmashMac, and today we're going to be commentating the No I Am Wrong Warp tournament. This is the losers bracket round 4 between xxShawn and Tixl. And both runners are now started the race here. They're both going to be running on VC. So both of the runs should line up pretty closely to each other. Both of the runners are pretty consistent racers, so it should be a close one.
Yeah, these guys are really, really good at racing. I know that Tixl pretty much like 90% of the time he's running the category is in a race, and that's where he gets most of his PPs. So, but Sean is also like really, really known at doing races as well, on SRL and whatnot.
Yeah, they're both really good runners, both with pretty similar times. I'm not sure what Sean's PB is, but I know it's pretty close to Greg's 117. So
Yeah, it's either a low 118 or like a 117. I think it's a low 118 though.
So as I mentioned, both runners are on BC, so they're both probably going to be getting their sword and shield off the bat. And we'll see if any of them do go for a West escape, though, to try to save a couple seconds or not, or if they'll just go for a West to try to save some time getting over to Pokey. So this race here is in losers round 4 here. So the winner of this one here won't know their opponent for quite some time here. There's still a few other races to go, and the loser will be going home. But I think it's anyone's race right now.
Yeah, this is gonna be a close one. Assuming both players don't mess up on like really anything, this is gonna be a nail biter for sure. Because again, these guys are great and very, very consistent as a rule. So see how it plays out. Should be.
As you can see, both runners pretty much simultaneously getting through the doorways. Both their cameras pretty much lining up here, so we'll see when things start to differ a little bit, but things should be pretty similar for the first while. So right now they're just collecting rupees and collecting the sword, and then they'll buy the shield once they've collected up to their 40 rupees. So it looks like Sean has a slight lead getting into the tunnel here, but still way too early to tell. You can lose a lot of time in child section if any number of things go wrong. Good bridge flip from Sean. Good bridge flip from Tixl. Looks like Shawn is just opting to backwalk to Pokey and do Pokey escape. Nothing fancy, but if it works, it works. And it works. And well, Greg looks like he does get through as well. So both runners pretty close to each other in time. And both runners collecting their fairy ocarinas here. And both the runners can be going to Kakariko next. Need to get to the bottom of the well. Both of them have a little bit of trouble getting around that corner there, but not a big issue.
See if these guys get the West into CAC here. It's not too difficult, but it is a significant time loss if you like mess it up for some reason. Ah, nice. Shawn opting to pause and equip the ocarina there. Ooh.
Must just be a safety strat there.
Yeah, he like got the last frame with S right to get into to get on top of the stairs. I think if he would want one more frame, he would have had to angle change, which could have wasted time. So would have had to probably buffer it. His VC.
Well, he gets the Cuckoo ISG.
Nice. So that saves like what, 3 or 4 seconds, give or take, to get that opposed to doing Navi Dive. That's good. Both players getting it.
Tixl opting to take the damage from the Skulltula. Shawn not so much here, but Shawn has a good ocarina dive there. Not bad, not bad. 922 choose for Shawn there. That's definitely a good time for VC. They're opting to get out of here via the wall master, which is, I believe, just a little bit faster than getting out via save warp. Everything looks like it goes pretty good there for Tixl as well. But he is just a little bit behind. Shawn living life on the edge here, walking slowly up the chains there. Always a little dangerous, but definitely swag. And Tixl doing this movement here now just to skip the owl. Alright, so both runners now opting to go get, not so much opting, but needing to go get Zelda's Lullaby. They're gonna need it just for one reason and one reason only, and that's to get magic later. But it is useful if you do fail Spirit Hover. Greg at half a heart, so he's gonna have to Mega Flip, I think, to get over there. Hopefully he's aware.
He's gonna have to Mega Flip. So shouldn't be too difficult for him.
Try playing it safe with the guards, and I don't blame him. And we'll see if he gets good RNG here. Yes, he does. The unbuffered Mega Flip from Greg. And he'll be making it in just a little bit later, but that's dangerous too, because if you go on the wrong frame there, you could kill yourself. But confident in his Mega Flips. Not getting the best RNG for Greg here. Now both of the runners can be entering the cutscenes. Alrighty, and now, luckily Shawn got here a little bit earlier, so the two cutscenes won't overlap too much. Oh, good. It looks like we might have to lose Smash back for a moment here, but that's alright here. I'll carry you guys through this one solo for a while if I have to. That's a-okay. So luckily Shawn is just finishing up with the cutscenes here and should be getting Zelda's letter shortly and can go for the ZL skip. So Shawn's making his way down to the shop to buy his shield. Just a little quicker to buy it now and have it auto-equip as adult than it would be to go to the graveyard and get a shield from there. Yeah, both runners are on the virtual console, so their runs should be lining up in, you know, all the major points of the run. Shawn just has a slight advantage due to slightly better play and a few more things going his way. But Greg not far behind whatsoever, and I think it's still a really close race, and anyone could win this one. So Shawn just making his way up to the Master Sword now. Oh no, Greg fails the dot skip there. Just a little bit too late there. That is about a 30-second time loss. It's definitely not something you want to see happen, because it can be really tilting to screw up a trick like that there and suffer all the time loss. Nails it this second time though, so. Not too far behind, but Greg has fallen a little bit further behind than he was before, so hopefully he can make up for it with some solid play in the adult section of the run. Because the adult section is really where a lot of time can be made or lost in a small amount of time there, so there's a lot of good opportunities for Greg to make some time back if he plays solid and Shawn runs into a few hiccups. So hopefully everything goes well for both runners, but we do want a close race. Both runners do have to sit through the longer cutscene here. It's kind of a point in the run where you can lose a bit of your gusto if you're not careful, and fall into a bit of a sleep while you mash this much here without any engaging gameplay. So it can be a challenge to keep alert and carry forward with solid gameplay from child section after such a long cutscene here. So hopefully both runners keep their composure and keep some solid play coming forward. Alright, Shawn just finishing up with the Master Sword cutscene now. Quickly saves and exits the game, just because it's a lot quicker than killing yourself and by voiding out. And this will put him on the other side of the door that's still there. So Shawn's going to be making his way next up to the graveyard to get his hook shot, and then going to be making his way into Shadow Temple after he gets his hook shot. But neither runner on N64, so neither runner will be getting their bombs first. They're both going to be doing Shadow Temple right away. And it looks like Tixl is just about to finish up right now with this Master Sword cutscene as well. In this route, they're going to be doing the hookshot jump just because it's easier on explosives, and both runners only have 10 bomb shoes, so any trick that saves bomb shoes is definitely something the runners are going to be looking to want to use. So both runners will be using hookshot jump to get up to the seam after Dompe, and it just makes sense to do Dompe first and get hookshot than it does to delay it until afterwards. It also saves the runners an explosive to get it first once they're into Shadow Temple and they don't have to Mega Flip the first hole. So far, really good Dompe from Shawn. Meanwhile, Greg making his way towards the graveyard now, finally. A 48 for Shawn. Not a bad Dompe time at all. So Greg's probably about a minute and change behind Shawn right now, it would seem, just based on them being a full Dompe race apart. Shawn voiding out at the end of Dompe there. underneath the door and getting crushed. It's just the quickest way out from Dompe after the race. Meanwhile, Greg has started his Dompe race now. Into 49 for Greg, which is also not a bad time either. Meanwhile, Shawn makes it into the temple just fine. No issues with his seam lock there. Now Shawn's going to be making his way towards the hover boots after collecting a few hearts. We'll see if he opts to do a safety save, as it is a race once he gets the dead hand killed. Unfortunate looking spawn for him, but not a major time loss. Looks like Greg is having a little bit of issue or something like that with was his ground jump here? Or is his hookshot jump, sorry. Shawn going for... Oh, Greg finally gets it. Shawn needing to advance a frame for Mega Flip, there it is. We'll see if he can get the boss key skip here, which is probably the more important trick to stick. And everything there looks textbook. Yeah, so the category is no item manipulation, no wrong warp, which means that none of the runners can put anything into their inventory through any of the glitches like bottle adventure or get item manipulation to get an item in a way that wasn't intended. So basically any of the items that the runners are getting, they are getting through the normal conventional means of getting the item from from that specific chest or whatever it may be. Now they might be using some glitches and stuff to get to there, but the item itself is going to come from the source that was intended. A good bongo fight finished up for Shawn here. Meanwhile, Greg just picking up the hover boots now, so needs to make sure he gets this next trick down here. This is a pretty important trick here he's going for. It's the boat skip. That'll put him right into the... oh. At least one bomb chew, but not the end of the world. It'll put him right into the room before the boss key, or the boss door. And from in that room right before the boss door, you can go to the boss door and just do a boss key skip there via a ledge clip with a bomb chew to blast yourself the rest of the way through. And you have to do it all invisible, as you can see here for Greg, that everything here is not loaded in this room, but the runner is very confident in you know, what the room looks like and exactly what they need to do on any given frame here. Oh no, and he overbuffers a frame. It looks like he just saved and exited there because he needs more help. That's really unfortunate there. Massive time loss there to failing that second part of the trick that you really hate to see it. He's down, but definitely not out, ladies and gentlemen. So he's making his way back through the temple now. All it takes is, you know, a good spirit hover versus no spirit hover, or something along those lines there. So anything could still swing the tide here, but he does need to make sure that he gets himself back into a good mental state and gets this trick completed ASAP. Meanwhile, Shawn finishes up with watching the cutscene and is now going to be making his way to go get bombs. Unfortunate, does not succeed there again, so he's going back to his save again to get those bomb trees back. Meanwhile, Shawn, everything has gone pretty good so far for his run here. Very consistent gameplay coming forward from him. Really good looking time here coming into Dodongo's Cavern. Unfortunate for Greg there. Fails the Mega Flip again here. Let's see, hopefully one of these attempts here does get the right frame for the Mega Flip this time. Looks like he must have held a strange input there and voided out during the process of flipping out of bounds there. That's really unfortunate, and he is gonna have to opt to go back to his save again. Meanwhile, Shawn just making his way through the Zonger's Cavern here, and everything going more or less according to plan for him. $35.03 bombs, I believe. That's actually a really good time for bombs for a race setting, so now that he's got his bombs, the next thing he's going to be doing is just going to get magic, which is needed to fire the light arrows later on, and also going to be collecting Minuet just because it's a little faster to grab it now. Well, Greg does make it through, but I don't think he has enough bomb shoes to go for Spirit Hover anymore. So that's definitely gonna cost him later on in the run. But he does finally make it to Bongo Bongo. Meanwhile, Shawn just finally getting up to the Great Fairy to go get magic. Everything goes pretty good for him in that Ganon, in that Bongo fight there, fortunately, so finally over and done with this trick. Hopefully he can reset mentally and just carry on and do the best he possibly can for the rest of the race. So now that Shawn has completed getting magic, he's going to be getting Minuet. He's purposely getting his health down to a certain amount, aka half a heart, so that he can kill himself while he enters the cutscene for Minuet and skip it. But it will still give him the heart piece after, or the song after. Good Minuet skip there from Shawn. Now, next thing he's going to be doing is going to Wasteland and the rest of Gerudo. And then eventually making his way to the Colossus to the Spirit Temple. Now, this is because the only two games the game checks to see if you've beaten to give you light arrows and give you the Rainbow Bridge to the castle at the end of the game is the Shadow Temple and the Spirit Temple. So as long as you can beat those two temples, that's all the game really cares about. So he does get a good Hess here. Just saves a bunch of time traversing the Hyrule Field area here to get a Hess. And carries the whole thing through, not bad. Meanwhile, Greg is finally into Durango's cavern, going to be trying to get his bombs Unfortunately, Greg will be using his very last bomb chew in this upcoming room here to blow up the staircase, and he will not have any chews to unlock his camera for Spirit Hover, so he won't be able to go for the trick. Looks like Shawn is probably going to be going for the low height ground flip here for the gate skipped technology that they go for. This is just because he switched to Kukuri boots. Yep. So now with him getting ISG, he's going to be making his way towards a certain spot and using the downward momentum and the backwards momentum he gets by getting hit by a bomb to clip through a wall here, or to clip through the gate more specifically. And he gets it. Very nice looking play. We'll see if he's going for full or half wasteland test here. Being very safe with a lot of pause buffering, but as long as he gets the full wasteland test or even a half wasteland test, he did still save time as opposed to running. Just opting for a half wasteland test, no shame in that. It's still difficult to get the first part of the Hess there down. And makes it through Wasteland just fine. Everything here looks pretty good from Shawn. Meanwhile, Greg is finally making his way up to go get his magic. Ooh, unfortunate. Failed 2-bomb super slide from Shawn. I think that's the first thing I've seen him have a little hiccup with. Not a major time loss, but maybe, just maybe the beginning of some kind of opening for Greg to make a comeback. Unfortunate. Does not get the Gwei hover there. Was a little, had the Gwei too close to him. But still has enough explosives to complete this here. Shawn being safe, waiting for the Gwei to come down. So Shawn, I'm not sure if he knows how to do the Hess strats across here, so we'll see if he just opts to run inside. Yeah, it looks like he's just running inside and gonna run down and farm bombs after. Oh, unfortunate, does not get the 1-bomb super slide. We'll be farming bombs now. Meanwhile, Greg, making his way through Goron City, gonna be going to get his minuet, but let's see if Shawn can find bombs. If he can't, it could be quite some time lost here. Unfortunate RNG for Shawn here, gonna have to kill himself. And then farm those rocks again here. Meanwhile, Greg, everything looks like it's more or less back on track for him now. Not having any major issues. But Shawn needs bombs to super slide over to where the mirror shield is, so he's just basically farming these rocks, hoping to get bombs from them. Usually he should have found them by now, but the game has decided to be quite mean to Shawn. Oh, there's Samai. He finally found a bomb drop. Alright, finally he killed himself now, and now that he has some bombs up here, he'll be able to perform the super slide across over to the mirror shield. Oh no, he failed the 2-bomb super slide. He only has 1 bomb left because he used some to try to damage buffer down. Oh, but I think he got the 1-bomb super slide clutch there. He almost had to go farm 4 bombs there. That would have been pretty unfortunate, but gets the 1 bomb. Meanwhile, Greg, just making his way to Gerudo now, has lots of bombs, won't be needing to do any spirit hover, can't be doing any spirit hover, so he'll have all the bombs for tricks like the low height ground clip here. Oh, unfortunate Shawn does not get the last Anubis down. Meanwhile, Greg gets himself a half wasteland hest that looks pretty decent. Picking up the pot bombs. And going to be going for a statue climb now. This is the easiest way to get to where the door is here so that they can low height ground clip through the door there. Nice unbuffered statue climb. And now Greg, unfortunately, is going to have to be traversing the interior of the Spirit Temple as opposed to the exterior. But he does still have a chance, you know, come Forest Temple if Shawn has a bunch of errors or if Shawn dies to anything in Spirit Temple still, so lots of room for him to come back if there are errors from Shawn, but he is quite far behind still. Shawn opting to go for the Nibiru Knuckle Skip. And everything goes according to plan there. Good looking Nibiru Knuckle Skip. Alrighty. Well, at least both runners are in the same temple. But Shawn have a fair advantage over Greg still. We will see if Greg can at least play solid for the rest of the run. He'll at least, you know, be able to hold his head high. Because Shadow Temple is notorious for killing a lot of races. Oh, nice. Shawn gets the off-screen hit on Troll Rover there. Shawn getting all the luck here with Troll Rover. They're just coming right in front of him all the time. And the double. And the double. Well, that's just about as good as luck as you can get for Troll Rover from Shawn right there. Short of getting a triple, but that's very, very rare. Not a bad time there for Shawn, a 54-54. Troll Rover kill. And Greg finally battling his way to the top of the temple, makes himself the victorious owner of a Mirror Shield. He's going to be able to do the rest of the temple a little bit quicker than Shawn was from up here, just because this section has already been completed. But Shawn still does have a commanding lead over Greg right now. I don't think Greg needs that key unless he's... Yeah, Greg ended up grabbing an extra key there. A lot of runners aren't used to not needing that key if you've had to do Spirit through the interior. Statue climb looks good though. So not too far behind Shawn, but it's at least still a race. Alrighty, Shawn has now made his way towards Forest Temple. Meanwhile, Greg going for a Naboo Knuckle Skip, Crouch Stab Strats. Shawn getting the chest here, right by the unfortunate jump sometimes, but it was a fortunate jump for him there. That one jump there is really common to not get a jump off of there and just roll down. Shawn making his way now towards Stalfos, gonna be just doing his Forest Temple chores basically, collecting all of his keys. Oh no, Shawn dies to the Stalfos. Could not pick up that fairy before. The fairy was hard trolling him and ended up taking a few extra shots from that Stalfos there, so very unfortunate for Shawn there, but it happens to the best of us. We've all died to Stalfos here and there before, so... But does give Greg a little bit of a window to maybe make the comeback here, though. Shawn coming back for his revenge on the Stalfos. Alright, Shawn gets the key, gets his revenge on the Stalfos, everything is great in the world. Meanwhile, Greg just finishing up on Troll Roba. But there is a pretty big gap in between the runners still. I believe there's almost 5 minutes separating the two of them, but anything could happen still. Anything, particularly in Ganon's castle. But another death to Stalfos could definitely cost Shawn a lot of time. The patched roll there is no problem for Shawn. Makes it through there with no delay. Making his way to the final temple, final hallway here before the winding stairways down to the bow. Needs to stay to the right here to avoid some Navi conversations. The text triggers aren't large enough to cover the entire hallway there, so you can actually sorry, give me a moment here. You can actually dodge, anyways, as I was saying, sorry, you can actually dodge the Navi text by just staying to the right. Shawn coming back here, having no problem with any of the Stalfos at all here this time around, and claiming the bow as his prize for some solid play there. Now he's going to be starting to watch the Master Sword cutscene. They're at least both playing Minuet right now. But Shawn's going to be save warping out from here. Meanwhile, Tixl is just going to be starting the competition here. And he's still in the race. Greg is still in the race. It looks like we're just having a bit of technical difficulties right now. So don't worry, I can still see Greg right now. He's still in Forest Temple. He just started the temple, so I don't see any sign of Greg forfeiting this one. Again, sorry here, it looks like we must be having some technical difficulties. Meanwhile, though, Greg, I'll try to give you guys a play-by-play on Greg until everything gets fixed up. So right now, he's just entering the Stalfos room where Shawn actually had his little mishap, and gets the first 3 stabs on the Stalfos pretty nicely. Having some trouble on the second one, hitting the shield a few times, but gets them all defeated now. Greg pulling a bomb there for good luck, it would seem. But it gets through the ledge with the ledge clip right there. Alright, Greg slow buffering here on the third or fourth try there, does nail the super jump across. And making his way up using ground jumps now on top of these blocks. And narrowly makes it through the quote patched jump there that people only complain is patched, you know, when they fail it. But I haven't seen anyone fail it this tournament yet, so. Greg also doing the movement there to avoid the Navi conversation. And making his way into the Stalfos room. One hits, two hits, oh, doesn't have a little trouble with the third hit, but gets it there. Second round of Stalfos going much, much better. Looks like we do have everything fixed again now here, so as you can see, finally, as you can actually see, we do have Greg finally getting that bow. Meanwhile, Shawn is just finishing up with his Master Sword cutscene, so there's probably about 4 minutes between the two runners right now. Alrighty, so now that Greg is completed with the temple there, he's just safe for warping. Meanwhile, one full cutscene ahead is Shawn. So luckily we don't have to watch Master Sword cutscene or the Light Arrow cutscene at the same time for either runner here. We can follow Shawn on his adventures for the next 3 to 4 minutes here while Greg goes through these cutscenes here. Greg finally almost done the first mashing cutscene, or mashless cutscene. Meanwhile, Shawn here just finishing up his Rainbow Bridge cutscene. Has 11 bombs left, which is a healthy amount for the rest of the temple here. Should be able to go for Staircase Hover and the Hess. Nice little setup there, gets the Staircase Hover, no problem. Gonna be making his way to the lizards now. Hoping to pull his Decker Nuts out. Very nice from Shawn there. Really nice stop voice from Shawn there. Oh, spooky. Shawn having a little bit of trouble there keeping the double knuckles in sync, but does manage to complete both of them no problem. Now gonna be making his way up, and we'll see if he goes through the Has to Impress. Does certainly look like it. And he gets it. That was a nice looking Has. So we'll see, hopefully the boss goes good for Shawn here, but if it doesn't, then that might be a small chance for Greg to make a comeback into the race here. Greg just about done with his light arrow cutscene. Alrighty. Greg finally has control again. And be making his way up Ganon's castle. Meanwhile, at the top of the castle there, we've got the Ganondorf fight for Shawn right now. Shawn getting trolled once by the return hit from Ganondorf, but is ready with another quick spin. Sends that flying back at Ganondorf and finishes off the fight no problem. Alrighty. Greg finally able to start his ascent up the tower. Has 10 bombs left, which is plenty. Should be able to go for any of the strats that he chooses. It looks like he's going to be opting for Staircase Hover. And everything goes good for him there as well. Alright, we'll see if the rocks are going to be kind or mean to Shawn right now. Oh, the explosion beats the rock, so very lucky from Shawn there, did not get rock trolled. Meanwhile, Greg having a little bit of a fight with his Stalfos. Very nice finish there though from Greg, and gonna be making his way up towards the double knuckles now. Meanwhile, Shawn just making his way up the final hallway here before the last fight. Oh, gets the swag nut throw kiss. I've yet to see someone throw a nut there, so shoutouts to Shawn for being swag there. You can see that nut hovering in place too for some of that fight. And it looks like Greg finally making his way to go for a Hess here now. Had a decent double knuckles. Also gets the Hess to impress. All the way to the doorway, very nice. So it looks like both of them are going to be on boss fights right now. Unfortunately for Greg, he is one boss fight behind. The 2-bomb super slide from Shawn is good. Still holding R to prevent himself from losing his sword right now. As long as Link is super sliding, he's busy and cannot lose his sword when Ganon knocks it away here. Now that the sword has been knocked away, he should be able to release the shield button and still have his sword. First cycle of Ganon goes well for Shawn. I think Shawn would probably need to die multiple times to Ganon for Greg to have a chance to come back. But you never know, anything could happen. There's still 4 more hits that Shawn needs. Okay, only 3 more hits. One more hit and Shawn is all that but sealed this race. Oh, misses it. Shawn died. He went for his swag final blow, and he paid for it with his life. Now, they look like they're almost in sync right now. But there's two things that are going to be making a big factor here. One of them being bombs for Shawn. Shawn does not have enough bombs to go for Void Warp and a 2-bomb Super Slide. So we'll need to try to clutch a 1-bomb Super Slide. However, Shawn does not have to watch the cutscene at the bottom of Collapse here. So it could come down to a matter of not watching the cutscene versus the fact that Shawn is going to be doing a 10-hit first cycle. Now, if Shawn gets the 1-bomb Super Slide, then I'd say that this is probably over still. But if he does fail the 1-bomb Super Slide, then this is going to be actually incredibly close. Well, you can't blame a guy for going for the swag, you know? Especially with some of the other swag he's busted out this race. Oh, he gets the 1-bomb Super Slide. I'd say that just about saved everything for Shawn there now. It'll be close, but it's not close as it could have been. First cycle going good for Shawn here. Greg just about to go for his Super Slide. We'll see what happens here. I believe he just needs one more hit. Not going for swag this time. Alright, Shawn finally gets the last hit there. Just needs to run down left and hit B when the time is right. And there's really not much that he can do to screw up things now. Alright, Shawn finishing up now. So there you have it, everyone. You have your winner of this round 4 losers bracket here. It is xxShawn with a low 125 pace run here. Meanwhile, Greg is still just finishing up the run here, but Greg, let's just have a little hand for Greg here for being a trooper and sticking it out after everything that happened in Shadow Temple. And it looks like Greg is just getting his sword empowered. And there. It looks like we've got a 1:25:14 official SRL time finish for xxShawn, and I believe Greg had about a 1:26:22. So it came down to about 50 seconds there, but if Shawn didn't get that unbombed super slide, it could have been very different race finish and outcome for both runners here. So Greg getting a little lucky there with Shawn going for the swag, but in the end, Shawn able to still clutch it out. Alrighty. We'll see if either one of the runners want to come in and have a quick chat. So again, everyone, put your hands together. Greg, good job in the tournament, buddy. You know, you may be down and out now, but you made it pretty far into the tournament there, and you know, no shame losing to a pretty good opponent like our friend Shawn here. So I'm sure you'll be back for future tournaments. Hey, how's it going, Shawn?
It's going.
Got a little too swaggy at the end there, eh?
I wanted to get the last hit with the jump slash, and it didn't work. I paid for it. I got cocky.
It made it a close race there. If you didn't get that one bomb super slide with how long it was there, you know, I was like, ooh, I don't know, maybe he just gave up this race here, but you clutched out.
I'm sad I didn't clutch it at Spirit Hover.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there, especially. I thought you may or may not have two with the 2 bombs left, but it's, you know, then who would have known you would have gotten that troll from RNG trying to find one set of bombs too, so.
Yeah. Well.
Other than that, you played super solid throughout pretty much all the other parts there. Like, you had a pretty good time coming into Spirit Hover. You were pretty fast.
Yeah, I was pretty far ahead of my PB for a long time, and then all that Spirit stuff kind of ruined it.
Yeah, well, that happens to the best of us there. I mean, at least you got to do Spirit Hover. Unfortunately, I think Greg's run, he ended up not having any bomb chews for Spirit Hover, so he ended up doing the interior.
Yeah, it was a rough race all around, I think.
But... yeah, you were just, I don't know, playing really consistent the whole time and just making little bits of, like, time over him here and there, but then Shadow Temple happened, and it got a little hard to track how much further ahead you were or weren't, because you were quite far ahead at that point. But I don't know who you're going to be going up against yet. It looks like you've got to wait for a couple rounds of things to finish, I think. But realistically, I think you're going to be going against like Sandir or Banu that round, I would think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. See what happens when it gets there.
Yeah, at least you've got a nice little break now, so you can relax and watch some of the other races and practice up for what's sure to be a next tough opponent coming up for you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see some of these other races coming up.
Yeah, there's a lot of pretty fire races happening in this coming week or two. I think Cruxer is my man to beat. I think if someone's gonna dethrone Cruxer, I'm gonna be impressed.
Dude's on fire lately.
Yeah, he's playing super consistent lately, so I think everyone else in the tournament, I don't know. Then again, like CMA and some of those guys are just so consistent too, so as I'm sure you already faced CMA earlier, so All right. What? And did you have any other thoughts or anything on the race you wanted to get in on there about? Or
I mean, I think I'm good.
yeah, I mean, you apart from the obvious at the end there, you were
Yeah.
definitely playing really well. I mean, you dodged his self-host too, right? I think that was about the only other major thing I saw that didn't really go your way, but those self-hosts can be tricky some days.
Yeah. Yeah, I think once like Spirit happened, I was just like, whatever, it's done. I can just kind of, you know.
Try to coast.
Yeah.
And I mean, it almost worked until you tried to get a little swaggy, so...
Yeah, well.
You stopped coasting and started going swaggy, that's when things started going wrong.
I deserved it.
It would have been pretty cool, though. It would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well. Alright, well, GG again, Shawn, and congratulations, and I'll see you in the 5th round.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, take care, brother.
You too.
Alright, I think that about sums things up for us here. Be sure to check in with us in the near future here. We should have some new races lined up. I think races for sure that I know about that we have coming up soon is on the, I think, Sunday afternoon. Let's see here. We might have Diamond and Andy, aka Honky McButterballs, coming up sometime soon on the weekend. And it also looks like we probably have Jelster versus Fig happening on the 12th of May, I believe. So those two should be pretty good races, and I think we have a few other ones that are going to be happening soon too. So tune back in, and we'll cover those races for you guys too. Until then, I'm Mubsy. I'd like to say a special thanks to Nato in the backgrounds for all that she does, keeping the stream afloat for you guys. Until then, I'm going to sign off and leave you guys here, but have yourselves a great night, and thanks again for joining us on ZSR to watch these races. We really appreciate it. You guys have a great night. Take care.